Hi, good afternoon to all of you. I know it is very surprising suddenly seeing my face for this extraordinary session. Well, I decided to come for this session because A, we have moved our extraordinary session from Saturday to now Friday at 4 pm, and B, that this was something to do with the most critical aspect of business, which is about art and science of communication. Now, as usual, in a brief while, you will have Ms. Rashmi presenting you the part 1 of art and science of communication. But for me, it was important that I come to you and talk very briefly about why it is important that so many of you join and take the benefit what it can give to you as far as our profession is concerned. Well, whenever we talk about communication, we all know that it has to be meaningful, it has to be productive. When we say meaningful, it means that the scientific content of communication has to be exactly right. And when we say productive, we are talking of a meaningful outcome. Now, often it happens that even if we have spoken rational and scientific stuff to anybody to whom we are talking, they pay attention to some extent, but then they get lost in their own sphere. And sometimes it also happens that the kind of output we are expecting from them, which is the productivity, doesn't come to you. Now, that is when it becomes important to understand the art of communication. The art of communication goes beyond the science, which is like saying it goes beyond the rational, the intent and content of it, but it makes or wraps the entire communication in such a way that it becomes interesting. It adds information to the other person, and it also promotes and invokes a little bit of feeling in the other person. So they also come and engage themselves into talking, listening, and all of that. And that is what art and science of communication means. Now, because we are talking, and this is the first time that we are starting this new series, which is coming under the banner of Extraordinaire, I want to highlight a couple of things which are very important. Number one, this is not just limited to you. It is also to extend to your families, to the distributors, to the people who matter most to you. So my request would be that maybe not this time, but from next time onwards, if you get an opportunity, do add people whom you know. It could be your fellow friend, it could be your channel partner, it could be a physician whom you know well, it could be your family members as well. Because eventually, the most important element of being a human is communication. So how strongly you can be in communication will determine how good or average life you will lead. So irrespective of business, this is a very, very important subject, and it has to be dealt rightly. And sometimes these small, softer aspects in life make huge difference. While we do a lot of communication series when we are meeting in training programs, this is a little different because it will give you a perspective which will help you to orient your mind towards putting things in an orderly way. So it could be as simple as that when we ask somebody a question, what is your name? The science in saying what is your name is asking for a rational answer, which is your name. But the art in it is if you put the right stress. So when you say what's your name, you are putting a lot of emphasis on the other person. When you say what's your name, you are actually inquisitive in knowing more about it. When you say what's your name, you are assigning importance to his name, which can be of relevance and importance. Now, little bit of this tweak the way you talk that art makes the entire thing very, very different, and that promotes a lot of excitement in the other person, and therefore the dialogue becomes meaningful and productive, which is what we are talking. So my request to you would be that through the year that we have been doing this series, and Rashmi has presented you a lot of behavioral etiquettes, dressing, etc., etc. While you go to the archive and go through it and learn most of it, this one is very important. So my request would be, please, take it to your people whom you know and ask them to join from the next series, which is again going to be next Friday or whenever they announce, but it will be definitely on a Friday at 4 p.m. when relatively you or anybody else whom you know is free. Participate. If you have any inquiries, any questions, you can post it later on. You can also ask, and we will be more than happy to do. And Rashmi, being a proficient person in this business of communication, she will be happy to then guide you and make sure that you become more active, more right, more productive in your communication. So I present to you from here on a new series, Extraordinaire, and which is focused on communication, the art and science. Thank you so much. Needless to say, since we are talking on communication, for me, the science of communication is enrichment of product inside the doctor's chamber, and the art of it is making more sales. So happy selling as well. Thank you so much.
Hello, good evening. Interesting, no? To get a perspective from a different different person, or from our CEO. It's interesting also that the emphasis that he made with the different words in the same sentence, meaning different things. These are small little things that we don't really think about or understand till we start practicing it. So today we are doing art and science of communication, and we'll just slide into it, right? So when we're talking about art and science of communication, what is it that we're actually talking about? We're talking about the way of saying the same things in a way that the other person feels what you're trying to tell them and understands what you're trying to tell them, right? Communication is basically that whatever is there in your mind, the picture that's there in your mind should be exactly the same thing that the other person also understands. So if I'm talking about a fruit that is, I've done this a lot of times in my detailing session, so many of you all may already know it. If I'm talking about a fruit that is almost round, it is red in color, and if you eat one a day, you keep the doctor away. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the apple, right? So this is how we communicate. We should be able to do that. So after saying that, there are two arms of communication, okay? General talk and technical talk. General talk serve distinct purpose and is used to different contexts. Here a breakdown of both. General talk, informal communication, okay? Informal communication, when we're not communicating in a product, but we are talking informally. Technical talk, we're talking about the science of a product, we're talking about why a product is different compared to our competitors, what are the things that makes it different. So that all becomes your technical talk, product and science, okay? Now general talk, information on communication. Talking about that, we're talking about the purpose. General talk is primarily used for casual conversations and building relationship. It focuses on sharing thoughts, opinions or stories in a way that is easy to understand and accessible to most people. It's a casual conversation, we have to understand that, okay? It helps in building relationship, because all the time if we just talk about a product, it becomes a very dry and rookie is the Hindi word for it. It becomes a very dry relationship. It becomes very non-connecting. You're not connecting to the person, just connecting with the what the person is saying, and that's about it. But here we want to build a relationship. So building relationship, we should be able to have little general talk, opinions or stories in a way that's easy to understand or accessible to most people. We are having BPRs right now, BNMs right now, so we can talk about those things, make it a kind of a story or a conversation, so the doctor gets why it is important, or what is the path we are trying to take with these two different things that we are doing. So all these kind of things can become your general conversation. Context, it's typically used in social settings of everyday situation. General talk doesn't require specialized knowledge, okay, and is aimed to broaden the audience, right? So now we're going into characteristics, right? In general talk, what it is: casual tone, informal conversation. Your body language is also relaxed. You may probably little hunch, and your face will have a warm and relaxed feature that is usually in a smile, and you are nodding your head and being very casual and informal in your conversation. Content can be include topics of current events, not politics, current events, okay, weather, personal stories, cultural discussions, or even humor. Humor is the best way to get people engaged in what you're doing. Humor is the best way, if you have the knack of it, to be able to make the person relax and be comfortable in your conversation or in your bubble, okay. So that is why humor, when we use it a little bit here and there, it just calms the conversation down, okay. Language, keep it simple, okay, because we use a lot of jargons in our technical talk. So our general conversations have to be simple, everyday language, not overly technical and complex, okay. Don't go between general and technical talk. Stay in that zone, okay. Just by starting to talk about one thing, don't just shift into okay, now I'm going to talk about my brand and just say just like that, deep protein. No, you have to be able to make a very casual way of stopping this conversation, ending the story, and then, sir, today I'm also here to talk about. So that is what very essential, that we create that proper open bracket and close bracket for general talk, and open bracket and close bracket for technical talk, okay. Goal: to engage, to entertain, to connect with people. It's not focused on delivery in depth information, rather than creating a comfortable communication environment, okay. So what do we want? We want our clients, doctors, our chemists, everyone to feel comfortable with us, okay. Everyone to feel as if they, when you feel comfortable with a person, is when you start trusting the person to a certain level. Even if there is a little trust built, it will build through the through different conversations, okay. It will build through the months or weeks. So that is why it is important that we start building relationship with them. When we start building relationship with them, then it is easy also to do the sales or to do the business with them, right? All right. So general talk, product and science is technical talk, okay. After we finish general talk, we're going to talk about technical stuff. Purpose of technical talk involves sharing specialized knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Sharing specialized knowledge, that means very specific knowledge about that product, okay, about something. Sharing specialized knowledge about a particular field, such as product specialty, science concepts, and industry specific details, okay. So now this is covering everything about the product, what are the specialities of the product, why it is proven to be a great product, because these ingredients are there, so it will be very great for if we're talking about Medislim Gold, we have five products in it to manage the fat, so that is why it is a great product for weight loss. So we bring it down to that. And then industrial specific details, it is the only one that is promising this, it is the only one who has vanilla flavor, and it gives you a sense of satisfaction even when you have it, so you don't feel satiety is there, so you don't feel hungry later. So all these kind of things can be said, industrial specific details, right? The type of communication is used to inform, educate, or persuade people with specific interest or exercise. So the doctors you are meeting them, whether we're talking about pulmocare, whether we're talking about B protein, D protein, you're meeting them for one specific reason, Okay, they are the doctors for that specific product. That's why it is very typical kind of information to, of course, to inform them, to educate them, and persuade people with specific interests and needs. You want to persuade them to put your product onto their pen, meaning that whenever they think about writing a product for a person who has fatigue or who's tired and who doesn't have energy to go through the day, they will always think about bee protein. Okay, in diabetes they feel that, because they're not eating so much, or they cannot eat so much, there's fatigue there, and they need energy to go through the day, but they do not want to add any sugar to their diet. We're talking about bee protein. So there is specific reason why you are meeting that doctor, and there are specific products for specific doctors. So you have to engage them and get their interest, so that the pen starts writing, they start writing the product, right? Context is often used in professional settings such as meeting, conferences, product pitches, research discussions, or technical training. Okay, technical training is what we have: induction training, we have refresher training, we have detailing sessions. So all this becomes your technical training. Okay, research discussion is whenever something new happens, we bring you the product across to you. There are trainings done for that. We show you the product, like talking about Teens Pro that has just come into the market, how it was presented to you, how it was told to you, so that you could understand the product, how the product has to be pitched to the doctors, that is also told to you. So all these, there are meetings held, conferences held, discussions held, and then only we go out into the market and sort out the product. So that is why these kind of
It's like an orgasm. So hard.
not that experienced, so you will go with a smile, and a very apologetic smile, that you're there. No, that time we are talking about a product, and we are very, very proud about our product, because there's nothing in the market like our product, right? Any product you take of us, there's nothing in the market that compares to our product. So we should go with that kind of pride and that kind of structure. Be, put your shoulders back, be happy, focus on the product. So general talk, we are a little bit mellow, we are a little soft, but not for technical talk. Technical talk, we're talking about our product and very, very happy and proud about it. So definitely that should come into the front, right? The content can include complex concepts, technical jargons, okay, technical words, technical jargons, data analysis, product details, scientific research, or industrial specific trends, right? Now, what are we doing for D protein? The sugar thing is working, the packet of sugar, right? We are doing that right now. Okay, so that becomes, we are putting a packet of sugar in front of the doctor and saying, our product doesn't have this, but XYZ product does, right? So we are hitting the industry specific trends, right? So we are doing that. So when we are doing that, again, come across very confident, very knowledgeable about it, right? We are not apologetic for when we are presenting ourselves in front of the doctors. We are very, shoulders back, smile, yes, but very small smile, not like yes, no, keep it small, right? Language, often use specified terminologies, acronyms, and specific language may be unfamiliar to those outside the field. Now, this language, why we are trained in this language? Because it is a language that the doctors speak or the chemists speak. They understand the terminologies and acronyms much better. So the precise language has to be very familiar to you, and it may be unfamiliar to people outside the field, and that is perfectly all right. Now, when we're talking about terminologies, scientific terminologies or acronyms, so the pronunciation has to be very clean, and the speed, gentlemen and ladies, the speed has to slow down. Okay, you have to bring the speed down a little bit, so that the full word can be pronounced and the full word can be understood, the audience or the doctors or the chemists that are listening to you. I've always, when I've gone to the field, 10 times in my one field work day, I will say, slow down the speed, slow down the speed. There is no rush. Okay, you have got 3 minutes, and 3 minutes you should use fully. You're not trying to finish it in 2 minutes and leave. Use your full 3 minutes. Slow down when you're talking specific terminologies. When you're talking about the ingredients in the product, we're not saying it is the general terms that we are using. We are using the scientific word, like Garcia Cambogia is a scientific word. So when we are using the scientific word, we have to complete the pronunciation, clean pronunciation. Okay, so use that. Okay, and precise language. Use a language that is familiar to your client. It is very, very important. It can be unfamiliar to the outside world, and that is completely all right. Okay, goal: to communicate complex ideas clearly and accurately, typically for problem solving, decision making, or educating others about technical details. Okay, that should be your goal. When you start doing that, then they will remember you longer. Then the product comes into the pen. Okay, many times when I'm going to meet the doctor and we talk about menopause, say, okay, we talk about XYZ, and then they say mango flavor, and then I just put in, sir, it also has added calcium. What? It has calcium? Yes, sir. You don't need to give calcium as a separate tablet. It has calcium and it has no sugar. So diabetic patients or ladies who are a little worried about their weight, it can help with that. So automatically the doctor sits up straight. There should be a reason why you're there. There should be at least one point that you say to them that they have not heard about, and you are educating them. Even these small things, it remains in their mind. Oh, then it probably will help this patient of mine, and probably help that patient of mine. There was one doctor that I met last time I went for field work, and we were talking about Teens Pro, and she said, yeah, you came last time, you introduced the product and all that. I said, doctor, for girls who are anemic and they cannot do their normal day, they find it difficult, they have cramps, this is going to help. Oh, really? This is what she said. This morning I met a girl who was like that, and she's an NCC cadet. She couldn't finish her training. She was sleeping for 2 days. So the coach told her to come and get a medical certificate. That's why she had come. I felt very bad for her. She was very enthusiastic, but she couldn't do that. Now, this is where she decided that I will give this product to that girl. And she asked for a sample, which luckily my BO had, and we gave her a sample. But this is how you connect. You have to say something that the doctor will connect with the patient. It's not just about this is a great product. Yes, all our products are great, but how does it help? The smallest of smallest things that you can remember, you should talk about it, because you don't know what connects where. And it is very important to educate. Okay, educate means giving new information or information that the other person did not know. It's not about opening a school and dictating a lot of things. No, it's about telling a few things that maybe the other person doesn't know or has forgotten also. They have been doctors for so long, they may forget some things as well, right? So it's very important. And when we are doing that, we have to be very, very positive and sure and correct with the information. Okay, it has to be very correct. So that is why we have all our visual aids, we have all the information that goes out to you, we have all these things. So read. Okay, reading is very important, right? So going into the next slide, differences between general and technical talk. So first we have the table: aspect, general and technical talk; purpose, casual conversation and social interaction; technical talk, information creating on specified topics. Okay, now these both the things are equally important when you are trying to build a good relationship with your client, whether it's a chemist, whether it's a stockist, whether it's your doctor, it doesn't matter. It can even be your senior manager or junior colleague. Okay, with all of that should come together when you are having a conversation. Tone, informal tone, that means relaxed, softer, little bit humor, little bit a laugh and things like that in the conversation. Formal, precise, strong voice. Okay, soft, cannot speak softly. Here you will have a strong voice and you will slow down the speed. You have to be precise. and slow down, not long sentences, short sentences, and you have to pronounce every word. Okay, right from the top to the bottom, you have to be able to pronounce every word. No eating your words. Okay, hungry, go eat food. No eating your words, right? Content, everyday topics, opinions, stories, and humor. Okay, something must have come up in WhatsApp, some funny thing has happened on the way to work, you can talk about it, or something like that, just very funny things, or very light topics. Yeah, product details, compared to that, content, product details, scientific data, industrial knowledge. So when we're talking about that, there is no, perhaps it has 40% protein. No, it has 40% protein. Okay, perhaps we can take it twice a day. No, we have to take it twice a day. That should be very, very correct in your information. There is no maybe, sir, at least once a day. No, she has to take it once a day. You have to be very, very specific and very, very defined when it comes to your technical talk. When you're talking content about your general talk, you can have, yeah, I would think, you could be a little bit more, I would think, perhaps, and things like that. But when it comes to technical talk, you have to be very specific about the product, very, very knowledgeable about the product, right? Language, simple, accessible language. Okay, we will not use short forms like GBU or WHO or something like that. Like, what is GBU? God bless you. I came to know very late in my life, but yes. And WHO, World Health Organization, or something like that. We will not use that in our general talk. We'll use that in our jargons and specified terms and complex language when we talk about technically. Okay, because they will understand that. Okay, so the different jargons can come out at that time. Okay, what is the jargon that we are using for bee protein? NIN. I heard people saying NIN. Please don't say NIN. There is no NIN. It is NIN. And full form of NIN has to be said. Okay. Specified terms and complex languages can be used in your technical talk. Now, goal. What is a goal for general talk? Building relationships, entertaining, or having a light discussion. Just, breaking the ice or closing something in a very positive note. It starts usually at the beginning or the end of a conversation. Okay, you can bring it in the middle, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to distract the doctor. But on the other hand, your technical talk, educating, explaining, or persuading with facts and data should all be ready. Now for Bilk, we have a very nice sheet done up, laminated sheet. The front is the product, behind is your facts and data with regards to other brands in the market with the same product. Okay, so it should be very, very clear, and when you turn it around, it should be done in a very, very confident manner. Sir, please see at the back also. No. Sir, I would like to inform you. Tuck. Okay, you should walk your technical talk with lot of confidence. Okay, lot of confidence. The doctor should be present with you at that time, right? Next, here are some tips for starting conversations with a stranger. Now, every doctor, every stockist, everyone, you may not know. This is good. Of course, all these things that I'm talking about is very good for your personal life as well. So, conversations with a stranger. Ask questions the other person about themselves to get talking about things that are important to them. You can also ask open-ended questions. If you see a photo frame on the table of the doctor and, oh, is this your family? How are they doing? What are they, something like that. Just relax and talk about it. It's very beautiful, clinic. Your aesthetics are very monotone or something like that. We talk about things like that to make them feel relaxed and comfortable. Compliment them. Shifting focus on them makes them feel more good. Don't say I, me, but more on them. So I was really impressed with what you had written on Facebook with regards to your conference that you recently went for. Wow. Okay. Amazing. The doctor will connect to you like this. Whatever doctors you're seeing, this is a trick. Whatever doctors you're seeing, follow them on LinkedIn, follow them on Facebook. Quietly. You don't have to comment, you don't have to say anything that time. When you meet them, that's when you tell them. You don't stalk them, but when you meet them, you tell them, I saw that you wrote this piece about diabetes in this conference that you went for. It was a very interesting conversation, it helped me to grow. Right? So you have to compliment them in that way. Don't say, madam, very beautiful sari, oh my goodness. Don't go personal. Okay? So that way. Find common ground. Look for things you have in common, such as a hometown, same language, same taste, same food, same personality, same characters when you're coming from the same area. Like if I'm meeting someone in Bangalore, they will start talking to me in Kannada, and then little bit Kannada that I know I will try, and we'll create a little bit of a common ground there. If I go to Bombay and I start speaking Marathi, then that gets created a common ground there. So something, favorite TV show can happen. The new TV show 1111 is great, having great reviews on Netflix. You can talk about that, right? Travel aspirations. If you see something on Facebook or LinkedIn or something like that, not so much Instagram, because Instagram is all about stories and what food they ate and all that. So not really, but mostly LinkedIn. Like, if you have any travel aspirations, if you're not from their hometown and they live in a beautiful, their hometown in some beautiful countryside, then you can talk about that also. That is very nice opening. Sir, what do you suggest? I was thinking to go with my family. You're building a little bit of a connect with the doctor, right? Asking for an opinion. Everyone has an opinion on something and they may be interested in sharing it with you. Again, I repeat, please do not talk political or religion. Okay? These two topics have to be avoided. Talk about everything else. Perfectly all right. Okay? You ask for your opinion about other things. Doctor, you can talk about diseases, you can talk about the weather, you can talk about, the weather is changing. Sir, what you suggest that will help? Because I constantly get sniffles or my nose is running, something, common interest. Just talk to them generally, Project positivity. Try to approach the conversation with a positive attitude. Now, this is very important no matter whether it's general talk or technical talk or any kind of talk. Positive attitude is a must. You can't say, oh, this doctor, no, very strict. I don't know what to go and tell this doctor. No. This doctor is strict. I'm going to make the doctor see my point of view. I'm going to make the doctor see my product. Okay? You have to go with a positive attitude. I don't know, madam, you talk, or sir, you talk. No. That is your doctor, you will talk, we will support. You should always come across very positive, of course, positive comes when you know your product. Positive comes when you're proud about your product. Positive comes when you have, strength in your company. So all this will portray when you are talking to the doctor. Introduce yourself. Always. Please, I find that, doctor, I'm coming from British Biologicals, but what is your name? Three cheers. Yeah, what is your name? Okay, doctor, we, as you know, this product, but what is your name? And this one lady has come from somewhere. When I go for field work, nobody introduces me to any of the doctors. Why? I also have a name, my name. I'm coming from where? Why am I coming with you? Introduction is very, very important. Okay? Now, when we talk about introduction, how do we introduce? We introduce the senior to the junior. That means even if we are going with a SM or even if we are going with a senior manager, our doctor is more important than our senior manager. So, Dr. Agarwal, may I please introduce my manager, Mr. Neeraj Joshi. Right? No, Mr. Neeraj Joshi, please meet Dr. Agarwal. No, that is the wrong way of introduction. Introduction is always doctor is the senior most. No matter if he's a very young doctor, just worked for 2 years, doesn't matter. Doctor is more important than our managers. Okay? So first, doctor, manager, yourself. And as you know, doctor, my name is Rashmi Someshwar. I have met you before, but today my manager is with me. Right? So introduction of yourself is very important. All right? Crack a joke if you can, to add humor. If you can. If you are uncomfortable and nervous, don't crack jokes. It always comes out the wrong way. Crack a joke if you can. That's fine. Perfectly all right. All right. Now, tips of conversation with an acquaintance. Now, this is not a stranger. This is someone that you already know. So, you've met a few times. Acquaintance is someone that you've met a few times. So, then how are you going to have a conversation to them? Be positive. Your positive should come right at the very beginning because you already know this person. So, be positive. Approach the conversation with a positive attitude and project it through your body language, smile, and eye contact. Always maintain clear eye contact. Not like me right now that I'm staring at you. No. Okay, blink once or twice. Okay, don't make them feel nervous, right? So have an eye contact, have positive body language, have a smile on your face when you are meeting someone that you know. I know all of y'all, so I'm smiling at y'all exactly in the same way, right? Ask questions about their interest, work, or enterprise. You can ask icebreaker questions like, do you go for any conferences or attend any BNM? What was your experience? Right? Easy ice-breaking question. What is your favorite book? Another ice-breaking question. Right? Give a compliment. It diffuses the situation completely. Okay? Doctor is wearing a very smart tie. And doctor, that tie is going perfectly with your shirt, and I think it is complementing the way you look today. Perfect. Madam, your sari is looking very elegant. You're looking very beautiful. Personal. Sari is looking elegant, not personal. Okay, so you can talk about it that way. For example, I love the question you asked about the workshop earlier. Okay, if they have done a workshop with you, they've done BNM, BPR, and all these other things, then you can talk about that as well, right? Express interest in what the other person is saying. This is when the first thing that we had done, listening. Remember, you have to be able to listen. Do not, answers are coming out, it's trying to come out of your mouth. Hold it back. No answering. You have to let them finish their full sentence. Let them finish. It is very rude to interrupt. 2, it shows that you don't value their opinion. Very wrong. Let them finish the full sentence. No cutting people in the middle. You want to build relationships? Don't cut people in the middle. Let them finish their sentence. Okay, I repeat again. To let another person feel you're interested in them, you have to be able to listen to them. Right. Connect on a common ground. Find common ground of interest traits to initiate meaningful conversation. Sir, you talked to me about those mangoes from that area. It was absolutely fabulous. I went there with my wife. She was very happy, blah, blah, blah. Meaningful conversation. You have common interest. The doctor has recommended a mango place. You have gone there. You have bought the mangoes. It's a common conversation. Okay. Otherwise, the doctor says, see, I told you, if you have your meal before 7 o'clock, your diabetes number will come down by 12 to 15 numbers. Sir, it actually worked. I did it for an entire month. My diabetes now is in a regular range. Meaningful conversation. Okay. Remember what conversations you've had with the doctor previously. If you have bad memory like me, put it down in a notebook. And then before going to the doctor, revise again. I have a very bad memory, so I write down everything that I feel I should keep remembering. Do the same. Right? Ask help. Can you ask help with a stranger? I guess not. But acquaintance? Yes. Ask for a favor that can help. Build trust and rapport. For example, I haven't grabbed anything from the buffet yet. Is there anything I should try? Buffet is when we're going for lunch, right? So if you're in the conference, you're taking, after your BNM, you're taking the doctor for a meal, you can suggest or you can ask the doctor, have you been to this restaurant before? And so on and so forth. Okay, so these kind of things we can, small little things we can ask for help, right? Summary to all this, in summary, general talk is aimed at broad communication and social connection, while technical talk is more focused on conveying specific, often complex information to a knowledgeable audience. Okay, So they already know about it, but you are adding to that knowledge. Okay, both are crucial for different settings and objectives in communication. In the communication that we have with our clients, both of them become equally important and both of them play a very critical role. Okay, you don't want to be the one who comes and just stands there and has general talk or gossips, and then there's no talk about the product. Neither do you want to be the one who just sits and talks about the product, makes a very dry conversation with the doctor with all the products that you have, the 5 products in your list, and then you go off, and then what happens? The doctor doesn't remember you. There's no recall when you go after 2 weeks, because he has met 200 people after that, MRs after that. Why will he remember you? He'll remember you because of your general talk, because of the small thing that you said. Yes, you talked about that. Yeah, it did really work. Thank you so much. Right? So both of them are equally important to have a long lasting building relationship with the doctor, as well as making sure your product comes into the pen of the doctor. Both of them. All right. So thank you very much. We've just short the time a little bit. Let me see if I can see our comments. Okay. So thank you for attending. I hope we all had quite a good understanding. If there's any more questions that you have or any more things that you would like to discuss, then go ahead, send me questions. Rakesh, Gayatri, Manjuna, Deepak, Shubham, Nakul, all of y'all, good evening. A lot of y'all are saying good evening. Thank you. Ashi said voice note. What is voice note? You could hear me, I hope, Ashi. All right. No sound is coming. Okay, this still. Oh, it worked out. Okay, what happens is sometimes there is a 5-second delay in the network as well. So maybe that was that. Okay. All right. May I request you to release free units immediately? Free units of what? Pikachu status. Now if you're Pikachu status, then free units will be some Pikachus. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so incentive pending. If you tell me you're Pikachu, I will not be able to talk about it. Send me your WhatsApp. All right. So everyone else, good evening, and thank you so much for joining here. It was amazing to bring this conversation to you, and thank you. And I will see you on the 6th of December, which is 2 weeks from now. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.